Before we lock the doors and the lights go out, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel right now because the information I am about to share isn't just about gardening. It is about staying alive when the supermarkets are looted empty and the supply trucks have stopped rolling. Imagine it is day 14 of a total grid collapse. The initial panic has settled into a suffocating, heavy silence that blankets your neighborhood. The power has been out for 2 weeks, and the insulation in your walls is starting to fail against the creeping cold. You haven't heard a car engine in days, only the occasional shout or the breaking of glass a few streets over. You are sitting in your kitchen, staring at a pantry filled with rice, beans, and canned meat. You think you are prepared because you have calories, but you are ignoring the biological time bomb ticking inside your own body. The human body cannot run on dead food forever. Without fresh enzymes and living vitamins, your immune system will crash, your gums will bleed, and the smallest scratch will turn into a lethal infection. You are suffering from the hollow hunger, a malnutrition that kills you with a full stomach. Most people think the solution is a vegetable garden in the backyard, but that is a rookie mistake. A garden is visible. A garden takes months. A garden tells every desperate soul within a mile that you have food. You need a solution that is invisible, rapid, and entirely contained within the fortified walls of your home. Today, we are going to dismantle the myth that you need land, sunlight, and seasons to grow food. We are going to turn your kitchen counter into a high-yield bioreactor using nothing but common household waste and basic biology. We are going to take the dormant energy in your dry storage and unlock it, transforming dead weight into living fuel. You are no longer a victim of the supply chain. You are about to become a master of cellular agriculture. The first step in this transformation requires you to stop looking at a bag of dried lentils or mung beans as mere food ingredients. In their dry state, these seeds are in suspended animation, hardened against the elements, and difficult for your body to fully digest. If you just boil them, you destroy the potential energy locked inside. Instead, we are going to treat them as batteries that need to be activated. Go to your cupboard and grab a standard glass mason jar or even a cleaned pasta sauce jar. This is your vessel. Do not go out and buy those expensive plastic sprouting trays sold online. They are fragile, hard to clean, and in a survival scenario, they are useless junk. You need glass, sterile, durable, and easy to heat sanitize. Your first action is the initial soak. Take 1 cup of dry beans, lentils, mung, or chickpeas, work best, and place them in the jar. Cover them with 3 cups of filtered water. Now, here is the magic. Over the next 12 hours, through the process of osmosis, water will penetrate the hard outer shell of the seed, triggering the release of enzymes that have been dormant for months or even years. This isn't just getting them wet, it is a biological wake-up call. You are signaling to the seed that winter is over. Once that 12-hour soak is done, you move to the filtration shield. You need a cover that allows the jar to breathe, but keeps out dust, mold spores, and fruit flies, which will be rampant when the sanitation services stop. Forget about poking holes in a metal lid that leaves sharp edges that rust and harbor bacteria. Instead, find an old, clean cotton t-shirt or a piece of medical gauze. Cut a square section and secure it over the mouth of the jar with a rubber band or a zip tie. This fabric barrier is your atmospheric filter. It allows carbon dioxide to escape and oxygen to enter, creating a perfect microclimate inside the glass. Now, drain the soaking water completely through the cloth. Do not be lazy here. If you leave standing water in the bottom of the jar, you are not growing food. You are breeding a septic swamp of bacterial rot. Invert the jar at a 45-degree angle in a bowl or dish rack to ensure every last drop drips out. The expert edge here is to shake the jar slightly to distribute the seeds across the walls of the glass, maximizing the surface area for air exposure. You want them damp, not drowning. Now we enter the dark germination phase. This is where the amateur fails. The instinct is to put plants in the window to get sunlight, but right now, you are simulating the conditions of being underground. Place your jar in a cupboard, inside a cooler, or simply wrap it in a thick towel. You want total darkness. Why? Because when a seed germinates in the dark, it undergoes a process called etiolation. It struggles, it panics, it elongates its stem rapidly, searching desperately for light. This biological stress is exactly what you want. It forces the plant to convert its stored starch into simple sugars and vitamins at a furious rate. By keeping them in the dark for the first 3 days, you're actually increasing the biomass and the tenderness of the sprout. You're manipulating the plant's survival instinct to feed your own. Twice a day, once in the morning and once at night, you will rinse the seeds through the cloth and drain them. This rhythm is your new clock. In a world without schedules, this twice daily ritual provides a psychological anchor, a reminder that you are in control of a living process. By day 4, you are ready to deploy the photosynthetic spike. Your seeds have now sprouted tails an inch long. They are pale yellow or white. Now, and only now, you bring them out of the cupboard. Place the jar in a spot with indirect light, not direct sun, which will scorch them and create a greenhouse effect that cooks your crop. The indirect light hits the chlorophyll receptors in the sprouts. Within 24 hours, they will turn a vibrant, deep green. This is the visual indicator that the nutrient density has peaked. The magic here is biosynthesis. The sprout is now manufacturing vitamin C, vitamin A, and critical amino acids that simply did not exist in the dry bean. You have effectively turned a cup of dry dead matter into a quart fresh living vegetables. But here is the pro tip that separates the survivor from the starving. Timing the harvest. You must eat them when the tail is roughly 2 inches long and the leaves are just opening. If you wait too long, the plant begins to consume its own nutrients to build fibrous roots, becoming woody and bitter. You want the sweet spot of maximum energy potential. Let's talk about the staggered cycle method. A common failure point is starting all your supplies at once. If you sprout 5 jars on Monday, by Friday, you will have too much food to eat before it spoils, and then nothing for the next week. In a survival situation, feast and famine cycles are dangerous for morale and metabolism. You need a steady, unbroken production line. Start 1 jar on Monday. Start the 2nd jar on Tuesday. Start the 3rd on Wednesday. By the time you are harvesting Monday's jar on Thursday, you are starting a new batch in that same glass vessel. This creates a perpetual harvest engine. You are building a factory line on your countertop that produces fresh food every single morning, regardless of the weather outside or the chaos in the streets. This consistency does more than feed your body, it feeds your mind. It proves to you every single day that you can generate life amidst destruction. We must also address the stealth protocol. In a grid down scenario, cooking is dangerous. The smell of searing meat or boiling soup travels through ventilation systems and open windows, alerting hungry neighbors that you have resources. It is an olfactory beacon that invites conflict. Sprouts are the ultimate tactical food because they require zero fuel to prepare and produce zero odor. You eat them raw. This preserves 100% of the enzymes that cooking usually destroys, and it allows you to maintain a low profile. You are not burning precious propane or wood to cook them, and you are not signaling your position. You can consume a high-calorie, nutrient-dense meal in total silence in the dark without ever striking a match. This is nutritional invisibility. Furthermore, the wastewater from your rinsing cycle is not waste. In a drought or water-restricted scenario, that rinse water is gray water. It contains starch and organic matter. While you shouldn't drink it, it is perfect for flushing a toilet or watering ornamental plants to keep up the appearance of normalcy. Every drop of water that enters your home must do 2 jobs before it leaves. Finally, consider the volume multiplier. When you look at your dry food storage, you're looking at a compressed asset. 1 cup of dry beans expands to fill a quart jar when sprouted. That is an increase in volume of roughly 400%. Psychologically, this is massive. Eating a small bowl of boiled beans feels like rationing. Eating a massive bowl of crunchy, fresh sprouts feels like a feast. The fiber content expands in your stomach, triggering satiety signals that keep you feeling full for longer. You are stretching your food supply, not by adding water, but by adding structure. You are taking a 6-month supply of food and physically expanding it into a 2-year supply of meal. This is how you outlast the unprepared. While they are scraping the bottom of a can, you are harvesting a fresh crop that takes up less than 1 square foot of counter space. This entire system is built on a philosophy of aggressive resourcefulness. It is not about having the most expensive bunker, it is about having the most adaptable mind. The person who waits for the government to drop off MREs is a statistic waiting to happen. The person who looks at a dry bean and sees a biological machine is a survivor. You have to stop trusting the durability of the world outside your window. The glass, the concrete, the power lines, these are fragile. Biology is resilient. Biology wants to survive. When you align yourself with that force, you become harder to kill. Let's go back to that dark kitchen. It is now day 20. The silence outside is heavier, broken only by the wind. Your house is cold, but you're not weak. You walk to your counter and pull the towel off a row of 4 jars. Even in the dim light, they glow with a vibrant, defiant green. You unscrew the lid of the first jar and pull out a handful of fresh, crisp sprouts. You take a bite, and the crunch echoes in the quiet room. It tastes like the earth, like rain, like energy. You are consuming raw, living vitality, while the rest of the world is eating dust. You haven't just stored food, you have become a creator of it. You have secured the means of production in a space smaller than a shoebox. Let the grid fail. Let the trucks stop. You are no longer dependent on their systems. You are the system. Now, I want you to look at your own pantry. Do you have living seeds or just dead calorie? Tell me in the comments below what your first crop will be. Hit like if you refuse to be a victim, and I will see you in the next video.